Hello and welcome. This video is going to be about the pelvic floor, giving you some exercise you can work on to help strengthen that pelvic floor. Now, a little bit about the pelvic floor. These are the muscles, if you're not aware. These are the muscles that surround your anus, your vagina, and your urethra. So they're all down in there. They actually wrap around horizontally, and then they also go vertically, so they're kind of crossing underneath there, those muscles wrapping around those areas. Now, I'm sure if you have children that you are very aware of those muscles. I know that a lot of people can suffer from the different issues that come with having a weak pelvic floor. So hopefully these exercises help you, and you can use these on a daily basis or a couple times a week just to get started. They're very simple. You don't need any equipment. All you need is a beautiful mind-body connection, taking your time and patience to work on these so that you can see progress. So first thing I want to do is, it may not seem super like the next step, but we're going to work on some squats. So what I want to do with these squats is basically the squats, we're going to start to focus on our breath a little bit, and they're going to activate the core, but they're also going to kind of burn out those surrounding muscles so that we can really come into it and just focus on the pelvic floor. All right, so let's come to a standing position. You're going to take your feet a little wider than hip width. Toes are going to be pointed slightly outward, and then you're going to take that weight and you're going to take your hips back and down. So this is a squat from the side. So my hips are going to come back and down. I'm going to come into that nice 90-degree angle there with the knee and the hip. If you can only come halfway, come halfway. That's totally fine, because we're not focusing on depth today. What I want to focus on is connection to breath and to the movement. So let's go 30 seconds. We're going to go 3 rounds of these squats. 30 seconds. Now, let me go over the breath too before. So I want you to come to the top of the squat. You're up here, legs are fully extended, you're tall. You're going to take a big inhale, fill up that belly full of air, hold it, come down to that squat, push up, releasing on the way up. Again, repeating. Now when you take that belly, try to get as low down there with that belly full of air. Here we go. We're going to go 30 seconds, focusing on the breath and then focusing on that nice big full belly of air so that the core is nice and strong. In 3, 2, and 1. Coming at the top. Releasing through the mouth on the way up. Again. Not worrying about how fast you're going. You could take it in through the nose at the top or the mouth. Hold it. Breathe it out through the top. Give me one more. All right, coming to the top. Small break. Rebound it. Shake it out. We're rebounding, regulating the nervous system. Taking that position again. Remember, our focus and our concentration is on that breathing pattern. Big belly full of air down there at the top. Taking it all the way down and then breathing through, pushing on the way up. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. 30 seconds. Last one. Coming on up. Shaking it out. We have one more round. Hopefully by now you're starting to feel activation in the lower abdomen right now from those big breaths, because they're bracing you on the way down. Here we go. Last one. Recentering. 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. Big breath. There we go. Last one. And coming on up. Shaking out, recentering yourself, finding your breath. Now, we are going to be focusing on the pelvic floor. So, coming down, we're going to start on the knees here. So, coming onto your knees. Now, if you're actually in this straddle position here, where your knees are slightly wide, and then you're sitting on your feet, you're kind of open right there. So what we're gonna do is trying to work on contracting those pelvic floor muscles. If you've ever done a Kegel, right, we're gonna work on those Kegels. So the Kegel is gonna be a sucking in, a withdrawing. That's what that muscle is gonna feel like. Right now we're kind of open. So if you do have a weakened pelvic floor muscle, this might be a little bit harder. I would recommend actually probably sitting down in a cross-leg position, sitting up nice and tall. You can kind of squeeze it there. But if you want to try this challenge, what we're going to do here, because now when we're here, all right, they're already kind of stretched out and opened. So you're going to take a big breath in, contracting up those lower muscles, that Kegel, big squeeze up. Hold it. And then gentle release, breathing it all out. Let's try that for 30 seconds. 3 rounds in. 3, in 2, and 1. Give me a 2-second hold to the top. And up. 1, 2, release. And up. 1, 2, release. Big breath in. Squeezing at the top, slow release on the way down. You're even going to feel those lower abdominals. Last one. And release. Give yourself a break there. Change positions if you need to. Maybe you weren't feeling it. The most important thing about movement as medicine is knowing that, one, you may not always feel it at first. There's multiple reasons. You can have one muscle that wants to overcompensate. The muscle could be weakened or overworked. And another reason too, that is not every movement is meant for every person. So it's important that you don't find so much rigidity in exercise. Yes, form always number one, but there are small tweaks and movements that you can do so that you can feel the activation for your body, because every body is different, right? Everybody is different. So let's try it in this cross-leg position. I'm going to sit up nice and tall. I want to try to remove those cheeks. All right, I'm sitting up nice and tall. We're going to go again for 30 seconds. Inhaling, squeezing up, holding for 2 seconds, and then releasing on the way down, exhaling. Here we go. 3, 2, and 1. Take it up, hold, slow release. Again. And release. Don't forget that 2-second hold at the top if you can. And then slow release on the way down. Last one. And release. We're going to go one more round. This can almost become like this beautiful meditation of connecting with your sacral energy, connecting with like your womb and that portal that brings in life. So don't just think of these exercises, obviously you want them and you need them, and they're going to help you in your physical life, but think of them as a way to really connect with this vortex that gives life, that creative womb space, right? Our sacral energy, our creative life force. All right, here we go. Last round. Make this one the biggest one you got. 3, 2, and 1. You could even close your eyes. 2-second hold, gentle release, and envision a beautiful orange glowing light in that sacral area. It's warm, it's comforting, it's strong. Last one. Hold it. 3, 2, 1. Gentle release. All right. Amazing. So, yes, incorporating that sacral healing into there, imagining that beautiful orange light, right? Orange is the color of the sacral. You can imagine a beautiful orange flower or something in your life that is orange, that, you know, even if you want to switch it up, like, what if you are on your way to, you know, sexual sacral healing, or you're wanting to become pregnant, or you've been pregnant and you've had children and you want to reclaim this strength, this feminine embodiment. You can do that here with these exercises and using, right, your vision to do energy healing at the same time. So remember that the body is just as important as energy healing. It is energy healing. It is the physical energy healing. So let's take it into our next movement. We're going to go onto the floor. Most of us have done these bridges as a way to strengthen the glutes, and they are very, very good for strengthening the glutes, that is for sure. But they are also great for the pelvic floor, and it's all in the breathing and the release. So I'm going to demonstrate. I want you to take the feet about hip width apart. Slowly lower yourself down onto the ground. All right. Now here, I like to slightly tuck my shoulder blades in. Palms are going to be on the ground. Thumbs are going to be facing in towards the body. I'm going to take the hips up. All right. I'm going to squeeze and I'm going to slow release on the way down. So let me demonstrate that before we get the clock going. So pushing through the heels too, bringing the hips up. Big squeeze, and then right here you've noticed your big squeezing at the top. So what that is doing is that is taking in those lower abdominals, which is great. If we want to really focus on that pelvic floor, try to bring a Kegel into it at the top. So squeezing in and up in that Kegel area, in that perineum area, and then on the way down, exhaling, sucking in the abdominals towards the spine. All right, here we go. 30 seconds, 3 rounds. Let's go. Up, big squeeze, squeeze in that perineum, squeeze, do that Kegel, and then exhale, take in the stomach to the spine again. Squeeze and hold. Slow release, connecting into that womb space. Don't go too fast, you really want to connect here. So squeeze, find that Kegel. Oh, yep, I found it. And then slow release, taking in the lower abdominals to the spine. All right, taking down for a rest, breathing it out. These movements are really all about slow, intentional, because it's not necessarily a muscle that we may feel as connected to or feel in our daily movements. So slow intentional movements here. Here we go. Taking it again in 3, 2, and 1. Taking those glutes up, pushing through the heels, big squeezing at the top. Find that Kegel, suck in, and then slow on the way down. Again. Find that Kegel, and then slow on the way down, taking that stomach into that spine. Again. Last one. And down. Okay, we got one more round. Let's go. We're going to go straight into it in 3, in 2, and 1. Here we go. Take it up. Big squeeze to the top. Find that Kegel. Push through those heels. Push through those knees. Come back down. Squeeze. Find that Kegel. Sucking in. And then coming down, belly to spine. Inhale up. Squeezing that perineum up into the spine. Last one. And taking it down. All right, here we go. We have one more movement. We are going to remain on the ground. This one is going to be a butterfly tabletop. So you're going to stay down here. Back is flat on the ground. You're going to take the knees so that they are parallel with the sky, with the ceiling. And you are going to take your knees out and back in. So hands are on the ground, taking those knees out. If you have tight hips, just be careful there. And coming back in. Now with this one, looking for that lower abdominal, that pelvic area. Here we go. So we got 30 seconds. We're going to go 3 rounds, taking them up in 3, 2, and 1. Knees come out. Now I want you to squeeze and contract that pelvic floor, that perineum area, all right, to come in. Release. Squeeze and contract to come in. So yes, it may feel like inner thighs, but what I'm doing here is when I'm out, I'm connecting in with that sacral area, my pelvic floor, all right, my vagina, my anus, all of those things, and I'm squeezing them up, that Kegel, to come in. Last one. Squeeze and come in. So, the number one thing I can always tell you when it comes to any type of movement medicine is taking the small intentional movements and breaths and time to really connect into it, what is we're doing. So, for example, I could just do this movement and feel nothing. Because right here, my main muscle movers are going to be my hip abductors, all right, in the middle, and I could just be like, oh, I just feel my groin area. That's all I feel, or like my thighs are burning. Change that perspective, all right? Coming out, what am I focusing on? What is my intention here? It's to strengthen the pelvic floor. So when I'm open, all right, I'm going to squeeze that area up like we were doing with those Kegels. And yes, my hips are doing a lot of the movement, but I'm also letting that area get a little bit of the action. So we're going to go second round here in 3, in 2, and 1. Here we go. Take it out. Squeeze. You may feel, right, that main muscle doing it, but you want to focus on the pelvic floor, squeezing in. Don't forget to breathe. And squeeze. Taking that pelvic floor up. Last one. Alright, we're going to have one more round after this. Stretch it out, recenter. This is our last movement here. In 3, 2, and 1. 30 seconds, taking those knees up. Take them out. Alright, now I'm really feeling it activated this last round. So every time I come up, I'm squeezing down there to come back in. This shouldn't be anything embarrassing to do, alright? This is one of the things that happens to most people, but nobody talks about it. It also happens to men. Men have weak pelvic floors as well. Last one. Squeezing to come in and release. And just because we can and we're down here, let's finish off with just a happy baby. If you can, taking those feet up so they're almost stacked above the knees. You're going to grab the inside of those. We're just going to do a little bit of hips since we got them open. You can rock side to side. You can even, if you're feeling extra sassy, right? bring in those Kegels here. It might be a little bit harder because we're all sprawled out, but squeeze it in and release it. Just seeing if you can connect with that muscle there. All right, let's gently take it down. Coming on up. Well, those are the pelvic floor exercises, and you can do them on a daily basis. I would start with 3 times a week and doing those 3 rounds, 30 seconds each. It doesn't have to be that long, just so you're starting to connect it into that movement, into that body area. Connection in the body is everything, taking that slow time and intention. All right, so I hope this was helpful. You can subscribe, all right, and put on that little bell to see more videos. Thank you.